everyone, my name is Reggie and welcome to my channel. Today I'm so beyond excited to be sharing with you my August TBR. These are the books that I would like to read in August. This is my to be read video. These are me putting out my intentions into the universe of the books I will read in August and hoping they will pan out. My August TBR is split up into 3 sections. So we have 1, buddy reads, which there's only 1, but I count it as a whole section. 2, we have Arc August, and then 3, we have Audible Escape. Is that what it's called? Don't know. The first book I'd like to read in the month of August is Wild Beauty. I actually selected this a month or 2 ago to read with my dear friend Katie from Thoughts on Katie, who is one of my favorite channels and definitely one of the most underrated people on BookTube in my opinion. So go check her out because she's lovely. Tell her I sent you, or don't, I don't care. Just go watch her videos. This is a book we both had on our TBRs and decided to read together, and I'm so pumped to do it. Next up, I'm going to be reading as many arcs as I can. I have a lot of E arcs that I need to get to, so some of them come out tomorrow at the time of filming this, which will be after this video goes up. So I'm trying to catch up on some past arcs and get ahead as much as possible. So we have Love at First Like, which is obviously a romance. This is about a girl who posts a picture of an engagement ring on Instagram and has to then pretend like she's engaged to someone, so I assume it's a fake dating trope. Don't really know much about it other than when I read the summary, I was super invested and interested in it. We have Say You Still Love Me, which is by K.A. Tucker, I believe, and I do want to read a couple other of her books, but this is obviously the one I'm going to start with because this is the arc I have. And this is, I believe, about a girl who used to date this guy in high school and years later runs across him again and is determined to make him fall in love with her or something like that. I don't really know the specifics, but I've heard such good things about K. Tucker's other books that I requested this book from the perspective of knowing the author, not necessarily the premise of this book. So we'll see how that goes for me. We have The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which I'm super disappointed I didn't get to in time. This will be out tomorrow, so I'm probably going to actually listen to the audiobook of this. I was so excited and flabbergasted to get for an arc of this, and I'm so disappointed in myself for not getting to it before it came out. But I've actually never read anything by Ruth Ware, so we'll see how I like it. But Books and Lala loved it, so that bodes well. Next up, we have The Doll Factory, which is a book that's being so buzzed about. I believe this was already published in the UK, and so we are awaiting the US release, and that's why I have an arc of it. And honestly, I don't know much about it other than... No, I don't know much about it. The Doll Factory comes out on August 13th, and all the previous arcs I talked about come out on August 6th. But now we're getting into the part where I would be getting ahead. So coming out on September 3rd is Well Met, and this is a romance that is kind of set in a Renaissance fair, and I've been told it's very good from people that I really trust their opinions on romances. So I'm super excited about this and very hopeful that it's as good as it sounds, and the cover is just freaking adorable. Next up we have Stage Dreams, which is a queer historical graphic novel, I believe, and it should be really easy to read, but I haven't read it yet, and it comes out September 3rd. Then we have one that I don't know why I have, but we have it and we're gonna give it a go, and it's Permanent Record. This is by Mary H.K. Choi, who was the author of Emergency Contact, which I kind of low-key hated. Honestly, I'm just reading it to see if she got less problematic and annoying. Is that a bad reason to read a book? Maybe, but it's why we're here. And then coming out on September 10th is His Hideous Heart. I'm so excited to read this. This is an anthology of Edgar Allan Poe retellings, and I'm so pumped for this. I've actually only read a few of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. However, this anthology has the originals in it, so I'm super excited to be able to read both of those concurrently. So for the third section of this, we're going with the Audible Escape section. So as many of you know, I have 1, been getting a lot more into romance, and 2, read a lot of audiobooks during the month. So there was an advertisement offer for me to get a free month of Audible Escape, which is like a romance package on Audible, and I think for like, I think it's like $15 a month, or if you're already a member, $5.95 on top of your fee. Something like that, don't quote me on the numbers. For a small fee, or a regular nominal fee, depending on if you're an Audible member already or not, you can get basically unlimited access to these selected romance titles. There were a lot of romance titles I was actually interested in. I don't think this is something I'm going to be investing money in, but I think while I have the free trial, I'm going to try to get the most out of it. So while I have it, the books that I have put in like my cart or my wish list or my library, whatever. The ones that I want to read, I have a list for. Princess in Theory. This is a diverse royal romance. Believe there's like a prince who seeks out our main character and she thinks it's a scam, but he actually is really interested in her or arranged to marry her or something like that. And so I've heard great things and I'm here for it. I also have Full Tilt, which is a new adult romance that I don't know anything about, but has been recommended to me, so I'm here for it. We also have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, which is honestly probably the least likely for me to get to, just because this doesn't seem like something I'd like. A lot of people compare it to The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I am interested in it, but like I said, there's a lot of books on this TBR, especially in this Audible Escape section, so this isn't like the most exciting for me to get to by any means. However, if I do get to it and do like it, then I also could pick up The Bread Test, which is a companion sequel by the same author. Another book that I may get to is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is one that I wanted to sit down and like kind of annotate and physically read, so I haven't fully committed to listening to it as an audiobook, but I've read most of Taylor Jenkins Reid's works as audiobooks, so I might just keep that up and listen to this one too. I haven't decided yet, but it is on my list of potentials. Then we have Lucky in Love by Casey West. This is the only Casey West book available for the Audible Escape option, but there are some YA romances that you might be interested in. This is about a young girl who wins the lotto and how that affects her life, essentially. That's really all I know. Then we have Poison Study, which I didn't know was a romance. I thought this was like a YA fantasy, so I was really interested. I do want to read this. This has been recommended to me by friends in real life, by BookTube, by like booksellers, library. Like this has been recommended to me so often. When I say I like something like Girl, Fire and Thorns, when I like old YA fantasy, people always tell me, have you read Poison Study? You should read Poison Study. You would love Poison Study. So, I mean, knowing that it's a romance kind of concerns me because that was never something pitched to me as part of the plot. This is about a girl who I think commits a crime, and in order to pay off her debt of her crime, is employed as a poison tester for royalty, and shenanigans apparently ensue because this is a series. Don't know why it's in the Audible Escape romance section, but I'm super interested to find out why. And then the last one that's part of Audible Escape that I may get to, but honestly probably won't, but is in my wish list / library, is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So that's all of my August TBR. I have no plans on reading all of those works, and I have no plans on reading all of those Audible Escape audiobooks. It's a full comprehensive list of the options available to me at my disposal this month. I'm planning on reading as many arcs as I can, listening to as many options as I can in Audible Escape before my free trial expires. I'm 100% going to be reading Wild Beauty because it's a buddy read. So different than my normal TBRs, but still fun, and it'll be a mystery to see what I end up picking up. So go ahead and pay attention to my Goodreads if you're interested in what I'm picking up through the month. Subscribe so you can see what I ended up picking up in my August wrap up. And I guess that's all for today's video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books already. Especially if you've read the arcs, but if you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. Want to hear all about them. Okay, bye.